We are going to pretend for a moment that this cardboard box is actually a sculpture made out of cardboard. I need to get a good document of it, and so what I've done is gone outside and found this nice little spot where I have concrete that meets concrete. And I also looked for a spot where it was shady, or I would just need to wait for a time of day when there wasn't direct sunlight here, so I wouldn't cast really harsh shadows. So what I'm going to ask you to do is take a picture from the front, which is what I was doing before, and now here on the side. And maybe let's just say that the back of your sculpture also has some really amazing detail and you want to get that. You can also turn your sculpture around and get the back. So think about the angles at which I'm taking these images and how close I'm getting. For a detail, I might get close, but for the other images, I've pulled back a little bit like you can see here. So now I'm in my editing software and I just want to kind of show you some of the different tools that are in my software, in particular straightening your image and also playing with the keystone. For a sculpture, unless you're taking it from an extreme angle, you shouldn't need to play with the keystoning, but it's always good to sort of check on that. So again, cropping is really important. We don't want to get too close to the image, otherwise it's going to start to feel like it's pushing out against the edges. It's usually weighted a little closer to the bottom than it is at the top. I like to have the grid on my camera phone so that I can actually see the thirds division. I like to go into my settings for exposure, light, shadow, brilliance, coolness or brightness, not coolness or brightness, coolness or warm. So if you haven't yet, just sort of play with a few of those. The things that you really might play with are your exposure level, your brightness and contrast, and then your saturation of color and your warmth or cool adjustments. So once you have that all taken care of, you can then sort of peek at your image composition again and click done. And then you have an image ready to go. So we can do the other one just a little bit more, a little faster. You can see I'm paying attention to that horizontal line, the break between the ground of the concrete and the wall. I don't want that crooked. If that's crooked, I'm going to really notice that, and that's going to distract me from the object in which you are photographing. So again, be sure to pay attention to how close you're cropping and the angle at which you're taking the image and making sure that it's level and straight and that we've got good brightness and contrast. And then you are ready to submit.